chairs, honourable members. 5 years ago, the European Parliament confirmed me as Commissioner for Competition. That was one of the proudest moments of my life. I was given the opportunity to work for European citizens with this Parliament for the values that has guided my work in politics for 30 years. I've always worked for a fair and just society, where people can make their own choices, follow their own dreams, in due respect for others. If I'm confirmed, I will continue to do so in my role as Executive Vice President for making Europe fit for the digital age. I firmly believe that we best achieve our common goals when we work together. That was my belief when I first walked through the doors of this Parliament as a trainee. And in the years since, I have seen what our European democracy has done to build a society that works for people and represents its people. And Europe will strive for more. I'm very happy that we now have the first gender-balanced Commission. We face great challenges ahead of us. Just to name a few, climate change and the digital transformation. Both will affect every part of our daily lives. And as global competition gets tougher, we'll need to work harder to preserve a level playing field. We have what it takes to face those challenges if we work together. We have values that we can be proud of, values of freedom and fairness and democracy. And these have made Europe the best place to live in history. Europe is filled with highly skilled people. We have excellent infrastructure. We have fair and effective laws. Our single market gives European businesses room to grow and to innovate and be the best in the world at what they do. So my pledge is not to make Europe more like China or more like America. My pledge is to help Europe make more like herself, to build on our own strength and values, so that our society is both strong and fair, and that for all of Europeans. In the last 5 years, I've seen how enforcing competition rules can make markets work for people and not the other way around. And I'm proud of the work that we have done. But there's still a lot to do. So I'm deeply honored that the President-elect has asked me to continue my work on competition. I will do that with the same energy and the same dedication as ever, and with the same commitment to independence and impartiality as I gave this Parliament 5 years ago. Because independence in law enforcement is non-negotiable. The competition rules, they don't make it a crime to be big. But dominant companies, they do have a special responsibility not to use their powers to harm consumers. Companies are also free to merge, just as long as they still remain subject to challenge. Because companies cannot deny consumers the benefits of effective competition, affordable prices, a choice of products, and innovative products that better serves their needs. And obviously, we also have to make sure that state aid doesn't harm competition. Because Europeans deserve an economy where companies compete to serve customers better, not just to get bigger subsidies from government. These are challenging times. And they are also challenging in competition enforcement, because markets are changing fast. And we have even bigger changes ahead of us. Human nature, though, basic motives like greed and fear, they don't change. So the principles that guide our competition rules, they are as relevant today as they were when the Treaty of Rome was signed, now more than 60 years ago. But we need to make sure that the way we apply those principles is fit for a world that is changing fast. So I will move forward with the review that we started on our rules of antitrust, on mergers and state aid. And in this process, we will be guided and helped by the insights that we have gained by looking into how digitization affects competition, including the independent report from 3 special advisors, which they delivered earlier this year. I believe that fair competition is important to prepare our economy for the challenges ahead. But competition is not enough. We need a strategy for Europe's industrial future that is based on what makes Europe strong, our openness and our diversity. So the industrial strategy, it must be for everyone, it must be green, it must be based on fair competition. And this work will include coming up with a new strategy to support the heart of the European economy, the small and medium-sized businesses. Together, they account for more than half of Europe's business income. They employ nearly 2/3 of people working, and they offer much-needed training for our young people. And fundamentally, those businesses, what they ask of us is to create a fair marketplace and to remove the barriers that stop them from growing. Our public and private sector also needs to team up to get the best of each other. And that means a more strategic use of public procurement, more funding for research and innovation in business. And it means working together with member states on important projects of common European interest. We will bring together entire value chains from universities, suppliers, manufacturers, all the ways to those who recycle the raw material that is used in manufacturing. And this strategy, our strategy, needs to reach beyond the single market. As we get more and more interconnected, we are more dependent and affected by decisions made by others. Europe is the biggest trading partner of some 80 countries, including China and the US. So we are in a strong position to work for a level global playing field. This includes pursuing our proposal to reform the World Trade Organization. It includes giving ourselves the right tools to make sure that foreign state ownership and subsidies do not undermine fair competition in Europe. A good industrial strategy also makes Europe fit for the digital age. Because basically there are 2 types of businesses today. Those that are already digital and those that will soon be. And digitization has enormous potential on making our lives better. But to unlock that potential, we need the right rules to give people confidence in the digital transformation. It should serve citizens. It should respect our fundamental values. Today I want to emphasize 3 values in particular: trust, humanity, and fairness. And let me give you some examples of what I will do in the 5 years ahead, if confirmed. On trust. We need to engage with people's concerns about technology and in that process build trust. I will work on a Digital Services Act that includes upgrading our liability and safety rules on digital platforms, services and products. And we also need to regulate the way that companies collect and use and share data so that it benefits all of society. On humanity, we need rules to make sure that artificial intelligence is used ethically, to support human decision-making and not to undermine it. I will put forward proposals developing the European approach for artificial intelligence within the first 100 days of my term in office. And on fairness, fair working conditions and fair taxation are amongst the foundations of a decent society. So we need to make sure that platform workers enjoy fair conditions. And we also need to make sure that digital companies pay their fair share of taxes. We want these taxation rules to be based on global agreement. But if that is not possible by the end of 2020, we are prepared to act. So we face a challenging task, not only to set, but also to apply the right rules so these fast-moving markets respect our fundamental values and unlock the digital potential that will make our life better, be it in healthcare, in transport, in the fight against climate change. For this task, I hope and trust that I can call upon the cooperation of this Parliament. In the past 5 years, I have often discussed proposals and ideas with honourable members, and I think our truly open dialogue has made it possible for new legislation to be adopted quickly. If confirmed, I will continue this open and cooperative way to work with you in every step of the legislative process. And I very much look forward to continue working with your committees. After all, Europe is about teamwork. And today, when we face some of the biggest challenges of our lifetimes, we need more than ever to work together so we can make sure that Europe remains the best place to live in all of history. And, if I may add, especially if you're a woman. Thank you.